Guys, if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe. If you want to watch the whole thing, you can watch it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. We're going to get straight into it.
Yeah.
You're having a fight.
I am.
And not just a little scrap, you're having a proper fight with gloves. Can you give us the backstory? So this is how I found out about it, right? I was on Twitter one day.
Oh, no.
I was having a scroll.
Oh, dear.
All I see is a fight in a nightclub. I'm thinking, what's this about? It's you.
Do you think I won?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yes,
and
louder
that's
in the
not
back.
because you're on this podcast. I do actually, I do think you did well. So why did that happen?
So in terms of why we don't get along or how the fight started.
Let's do both.
Okay, God, you're like picking my brains here.
As
I feel
I
like
should
it's been
be.
going on for months and months.
I think it has as well. But that's why, I don't know how it even started.
Yeah, so I think back and forth, the beginning was just like harmless, like rivalry banter on Twitter, because we're very similar in the sense that we're both blonde.
Well, she does like football stuff, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Or am I right? Right, okay.
Yeah. So she basically has a very, very similar brand to me.
Mm-hmm.
Almost carbon copy, if you know what I mean. But then, she came off after me, like 2 years after me. So there was just like harmless banter on Twitter. And then it wasn't, I never liked her. I never really disliked her. But it was just kind of like harmless banter in that sense. And then like... do you know when some things happen so fast and like things just like either like fume into something big and like fuse something really quickly?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So we were in a nightclub, we had that scrap and everything like that. But to be honest,
did she come over to you or something and say something, or did you just scrap?
that one was, do you know maybe when I'm like really drunk? We were really drunk.
Yeah, okay.
But she barged into me actually, and then I threw my drink on her, and then she just like scratched me. But I don't think...
What a waste of a cranberry juice.
Oh my God, did you like that one?
I did, yeah. I gave it a like. Don't
that was
worry.
really salty, wasn't it? I think I won that. I was like, oh my God, I'm so funny.
No, rightly so.
Yeah, so... yeah, and then after that, we basically just split up. It was literally just barging, and then I threw out my drink, but in the video, you can't see that. And then we kind of dispersed really quickly because she like pushed me down this like ramp in Astoria.
Not a ramp.
Yeah, a ramp. Actually, I was missing my Aggies, but it was literally just a ramp, yeah. And then that was the end of that one. I think, there's always been kind of that rivalry from a sense from what happened that night. And then more back and forth going. And I think that, I had already had a boxing opportunity come to me.
Had you? What, before this?
No, because they had seen the ongoing beef.
Okay.
So like it had been presented, and it was already presented to me before she doxed me. So the fight was going to happen before she did that. And I can't even say that the damage she has done from that. So I know that people can say, like maybe things were manipulated before that we went previously to that, so we could get this fight. But it was really hard. And I think that there are so many reasons why you specifically shouldn't date a sex worker. Oh my God. There are so many reasons you shouldn't date a sex worker. There are so many reasons you shouldn't dox a sex worker.
Yeah.
And it's such a personal thing. And I think the maddest thing is that live, it just seems so scripted to me. And I really mean that. Like, it was
this
like
the one that she did? Is this where she
together.
released your address and
name?
Yeah, that is a bit fucked up.
Yeah, so that's doxing. And you don't do that to sex workers, because we have...
you got some creeps probably following
exactly.
you. Yeah.
Do you know, like, hand on heart, how many people want to, like, they say they're going to like every day?
What? Really?
Proper, yeah. So like you have these layers and these levels of like protecting your own identity.
Yeah.
And for another sex worker to do that is just crazy to me. And I think that when you have such a big platform comes such big responsibility, and you need to learn that. It's not the same as you're always going to get people that know your real name commenting on your TikTok and stuff, which you can delete, but that's completely different to having
a live as well.
a live that people are screen recording. And it's not only did she do the live, she made TikToks afterwards. So she full on showed her intentions that night. And she didn't need to do that because the boxing match was already affirmed.
What's mad? I haven't seen any of her. I've only seen your stuff on my For You page. Like your the walk up one where you were threatening her. Loved that.
Yeah, I'm not joking. I was fuming.
I bet you were.
I was livid.
Steam.
I know. And I think, look, I don't want to sound big-headed or anything like that, but I think the worst thing that girl could have done was really piss me off.
Yeah.
Because now I don't for me, like, we were going to fight regardless. So if I don't knock her the fuck out and really show what I'm capable of, then this would have all been nothing. I got doxed for nothing, right?
And I feel like, because a lot of people thought it was all set up, they were just like, oh, they're actually friends and it's just for like the money or whatever. But it does actually sound like you guys don't actually get on, genuinely.
I'm here like almost like crying, because if you think, I've had my mum ringing me up, like crying her eyes out, because my little brothers found out what I do. Like my
so did they not know?
My mum did, but like my brothers didn't, my stepdad's colleagues didn't, and it affects
colleagues.
It doesn't just affect you having a work name. It protects your family, it protects your identity. And I know
people have opinions on it, don't they?
100%. And I know so many people in the sex industry anyway that like have been like, people send their work, their like pornographic work, to their family and everything like that. So there's so many reasons why you have these, you know, these fake names. Like, do you actually think Lady Gaga is called Lady Gaga? Like,
maybe.
you know, like Tom Cruise isn't called Tom Cruise. Like, every porn star in the world, Lana Rhoades isn't called Lana Rhoades. Like, you know, when she said it, she was like, she's lying to her fans. Like, who am I lying to?
But it's such a dangerous industry, because your job attracts the most creepiest men. It's not like you're in a post office where there might be like an odd one sent buying a stamp. Like, you have like the creeps probably obsessed with you.
Yeah, but not even obsessed with me. Like, people hate us. Like, they absolutely hate seeing women like benefit monetarily from their own body, which is crazy.
Yeah, of course.
Like, how dare, like, give it to me for free, but as soon as you're making profit from it, like, go
and
into
it's
your
jealousy.
head.
You get like men and women. Like, a lot of women hate you because you're like pretty and you're like got this amazing body, and their boyfriends are watching you.
Yeah.
So you're hated with both.
And it's like, if I wanted your boyfriend, honey, I'd have him.
Tell them.
Like,
I'm scared now. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
No, but honestly, it's just like, you know, we're just so hated at the same time. And I think I get it, because, you know, I think that before I was in the sex industry, I think like, I remember watching stripping documentaries on like Channel 4. you know, the ones, and like dogging. And I'm like, oh my God, who does that?
Who would do that?
What minxes show their bodies? Well, so I was doing my Lord Degree on my high horse. And now I'm just like, yeah, girls, get them baps out.
As you should. That is mad. I think a lot of it's jealousy. I was going to say, do you get a lot of people from your school now? Like, obviously back in the day, either because you do OnlyFans, do they subscribe to you, or are they messaging you about it? How does it sort of...
I found out a couple of times, like, people I know like subscribe to me because like either changed their username from like U123456 to like their name and their profile picture, and you're like, oh, that's sus.
That's so weird.
I know, and they just get so weird about it. And then like, I did OnlyFans a long time ago. Like, I started 3 years ago, and it's not the same as it was. Like, the people in my, oh my God, I don't want to sound like I'm like old, my era, or like
I get you.
growing, like we kind of we did all the hard work. Like, OnlyFans didn't build this, all the sex workers did. Like, we put in the legwork. We sell our own product at the end of the day. Like, no one does it for us. So back then it was a lot harder, because we really had to put the graft in.
Yeah, well, that's like when Bella Thorne did this whole thing, attracted loads of people to OnlyFans, and everyone was livid. Yeah. Were you on that? Like, what was your opinion on that?
So from what I can remember, so I was on it, and basically you could have been paid more than it was in a day, and they restricted it because of chargebacks, right? Yeah. So
that's fucked as well.
Yeah, but I think at the time everyone was livid. But when you actually, you know, sit back and reflect upon the sex industry and about, I think, how good that these celebrities and these mainstream influencers have made the platform that it's a household name now. Like,
everyone knows about OnlyFans.
Everyone knows OnlyFans. Yeah. I feel like back when I started, oh my God, I was the absolute slag of the town.
Really?
I got so much stick. I got, you know, like, people would really, I mean, vicious to me, like really nasty.
What,
to
like
me.
Online or to your face?
To my face in the pub. Like, people I went to school with.
In the pub,
like, nasty. And, you know, like, girls, like, group chat after group chat after group chat, like, all I getting was like, oh, I've seen your stuff being sent in here today. And I'm like, like, and my friends are telling me because they're in the same group chat.
Like, because can you screenshot from OnlyFans?
Yeah, you can.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like telling everyone my
if
secret.
Netflix can't do it, do you know what I mean? They need to up their fucking game. That's mad.
I know, but I think, right, because OnlyFans is only a website, right? They don't have an app, that they can't implement this technology.
Why do they not have an app? Okay,
because
right, that
it's in
makes
the
sense.
sex industry, and you can't have that on the Apple Store.